good morning, YouTube. I, I was sitting here, I was sitting there on my phone watching TikTok, and I was waiting for the countdown on the laptop. It shows like the countdown, and I let it go past zero because I was sitting there looking at some stuff on TikTok about these cops, being totally out of control, where you're not allowed to come in the house, and they came in the guy's house. They put their foot at the door, and do stuff that is totally uncalled for. Yeah, I mean, but I was sitting here, I didn't hit the button. But again, it just shows that when a cop comes to your door, don't answer the door. Go upstairs and talk to him outside of a window or something. Don't let him in your house, because they know the law. They know they're not supposed to. Come in your house, and they put their foot in the door. So if you try to push their foot out, then the next thing you know, you're assaulting the cop. These cops are out of control. And it's funny how you have these conservative groups that just follow what they say. Well, if it's unlawful, it's unlawful. What right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And good morning, Mike. It's unlawful. I don't understand how they get away with this stuff. And then I was watching another one, and this shows you that you can't carry your money around with you. The guy had his life savings in his bag. It's like $85,000, and the cop kept it. And he says, "We believe this is drug money." You're so used to seeing, all these criminals, but when an honest man comes through and is going through something like this, good morning, good morning. An honest man is going through something like this, and it tells you, you just lets you know, you really don't want to carry that type of money around, because these places can just keep seize in. They can seize your vehicles, something that you spent your life savings on. They can seize your vehicle, and for no apparent reason, and get away with it. I was watching some stuff. This happens here in Atlanta. These folks are getting their vehicles seized. No problem. You go back to sleep. Just leave me. Just leave me playing. you know, um, it's un. It's just ridiculous. How these laws are. How these laws are written, and how these cops can get away with bloody murder. Um, I could imagine, you taking a vehicle that I'm making payments on. Excuse me. I could imagine, and then they making payments on it. Then they can put that same car up for auction and sell it to someone else. And then you get these conservative groups that they're saying, um, you know, they aren't meant to protect us, and they're saying that, you know, we support the blue. You got the American flag is blue and white, and in the bow it's blue. And you ever notice that a lot of these, police departments, it used to say protect and serve, that it doesn't say that on their police cars anymore. You ever notice that? And my wife loves Chick-fil-A, but I'm not with it. I'm not with Chick-fil-A. I'm not with the people that are in Chick-fil-A. I don't care how good the chicken tastes or whatever, but because these guys, well, we support the blue, and we support this, and while they're killing our people, and then they're taking, they're abusing our rights, and you just got to know, there's some people that don't believe in the banking system. that they keep their money with them. You know what I'm saying? And just because someone has a lot of money doesn't mean they're a drug dealer. And because it could be their life savings. I wish I could say, like, we got they they we got folks that have channels that are about saving dollars and money and like stuff like that. But all that is just what our grandfathers and grandmothers used to do. They would save every dime and learn how to pitch pennies and whatever, and they didn't take that stuff to the bank. You hear stories about people that have found money in their walls. The old saying, the money's the money's under the mattress. Um, you know, there still are old school people that just don't trust the banks. Especially now that some of these banks in Silicon Valley, it's crashed and there's really no money left. You know that that makes persons it's scary. That's the scary part that we don't understand. I literally, and I said it yesterday, I had to replace all my bank cards, my credit cards, because I got scammed, and when I realized it was kind of too late that I was being scammed. Um, but I changed all my passwords and yada yada yada. But it's just amazing that you do the right thing, or you're trying to do the right thing, or you're attempting to do the right thing, and then you get accosted, you get people try to take advantage of you, you get people that want to have the excuse to uh you know take from you. When I first moved into this house, really not the people that right next to me, they were Asian. I tried to be polite as ever, talk whatever. The guy wouldn't say a word to me. Like in other words, like F you. So it became fun for me. Hey, neighbor. Still wouldn't say nothing. I'm like, okay. Um, the reason why he has grass now is because of me. Because I'd wait till he wasn't home, and I threw cause the way it's situated. When it really comes down hard, his freaking it overflows my retaining wall, and I get all the topsoil, the dirt, and everything from his yard. So I started trying to figure out what grass I could put there that maybe stop it or slow it down. I figured I'm gonna have to fix my retaining wall and put a drain pipe in there, to do it. But the guy was not even never nice, and uh, I would do everything I could to be nice to him. When you try to be nice to people, you try to be neighborly. Um, and when you see something suspicious, when you know that people are not home and someone's coming to the door, you say, hey, can I help you? Even though you weren't nice to me, I'm still looking out for you. Someone, hey, someone was at your house. Just so you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. We have to watch out, and a lot of times it's common sense. You don't realize this, because this is supposed to be the land of the free and land of this and land of that, and milk and honey, but it's kind of it's sour milk, and I don't know if honey can go bad, but it's probably bad. We don't um we don't take into we don't take that into consideration, that people are not nice. that people abuse their power, that people, take advantage. And it's so funny because, Charles, he tells, a lot of stories, but, his father was a cop. And when Charles got out of the military, he was going to become a cop. And his father said, nah, you're going to do something that I can't protect you. So that's why he literally became a truck driver, because you could go too far, and we've got way too many cops going way too far, getting caught on camera, putting something in the car. I remember it was years ago that I was on a jury, and the cops, it was just as plain as day that, that the drugs were planted, because, I asked the question, well, did they fingerprint the bag? Did they find anything on the bag of anybody's hand, from anybody's hand? Oh, no, they didn't do any fingerprinting. Well, how did they know to stop this car? Well, they were driving east and the car was going west on a highway. Now listen it, on the highway. And the cops smelled marijuana. Well, first of all, just pure physics alone, when you're driving, and even if it was a Cheech and Chong car, you know what I'm saying? You're telling me that you smelled something when the wind is blowing one way and the car is going the opposite way, that your nose is that perfect that you're a freaking hound dog? And I said, that don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. And I just was taking apart the whole situation, and I just let everybody know in the jury that I'm not voting against these black men. They were set up. Doesn't matter what they've been known to do, but you had no cause to stop them. Was there so much smoke in the car that it was coming out the windows or something? Come on, man. That's that Cheech and Chong movie stuff. That don't happen for real. Come on, man. But I'm gonna use a big word that I don't know the definition. I digress. But I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell you a story, and this is about doing the right thing. And this happened to me way before I met my wife now. So if she's watching, no, this had nothing to do with you. It was my early years in the military, and I got suckered into hanging out with a certain person of the opposite sex. And I remember one night that we pulled up to this bar, and at this bar, my passenger gets out of the car, goes into the bar, comes out with a dude, walks right across in front of my car into an alleyway, and then comes back out. That the dude goes back into the bar, and then that person gets in my car. And I look at him and I say, I know you just didn't go buy some stinking drugs and then get back in my car. I know you didn't do that. Do you not know I'm in the military? Did you not know I have a high a top secret clearance? Do you know how much trouble I can get into just because I'm sitting here, not even knowing? Have you lost your blankety blank mind? And I literally drove around the corner and said, get the blankety blank out of my car, you effing idiot. And got out of the car and I drove off. And I remember, yeah, you know, I remember, like less than 5 minutes later, clueless me, get a phone call, and it was the person I kicked out of the car, and it says, you know, you're lucky you just did that, because I was wired, you know, I had a wire on me, and as soon as this stuff had went down, you know, a cop was right behind you and about to arrest you, but they seen you had nothing to do with this. You believe this? And I was clueless. I was clueless. I was clueless. You know, people don't care about you. You think they might care about you, but they don't. And they will put you in situations that you might not be able to get yourself out of. You know what I mean? That's the nature of the beast and the nature of life itself. You know what I mean? It's good morning, good morning. Welcome in. That's the crazy part of what's going on. And even then, you know, I was clueless. I was clueless. They you know, that's a good, this is going to be a good segue. Let's get out of this sad, mean stuff. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was how great my cruise was, and I was surprised how great it was. It was so great I couldn't wait to leave, get out of there, because it was just too much. I actually got too much rest. I mean, I kept on going back to the room and laying down and was knocked out. And it wasn't as warm as most of the cruises that I've been on have been, you know, in and during hurricane season. You know, this one, I believe this is not hurricane season right now. But the few nights I slept with the balcony door open. You know, you can actually, on these newer ships, you can lock it in the open, and, you know, lock it in the open position, or you can actually move the door to a certain point and lock it. The food was really, really, no, I'm going to say fantastic, but it was a lot better than, you know, the celebration. You know, I was on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and I learned a big thing. I said, and I probably said it on another live, but I learned that don't be in a rush to be on the first cruise in the United States on these big new, you know, these big new fantastic boats and all that, because they really don't have their act together. You got to give them time to, you know, get in the swing of things. You got to give them time to prepare the foods, because I ordered the exact same stuff that I had a problem with on Celebration twice, and that food was good. The sides were good. I didn't have the what do you call it, the barbecue, you know, the pig and anchor barbecue. I kept a feeling that wasn't gonna do it. It wasn't gonna do it. That was the only one. But I also learned not to be in a rush to see everything. You know, When you're in a rush to see everything, you're gonna miss something anyway. So I figured that it was best to plan out. When you plan out the day and say, what do y'all want to do? Well, I just want to do this and this, and the rest of it, I'm good. I don't need to do it. It let me know that I'm getting more content in my situations. I'm getting more content in my lifestyles. Especially now, we do 2 vacations a year. I remember at one point in my life I couldn't even get in one vacation. I love cruising, but I'm not fanatical about it. Because now I love knowing that my bills are paid. Now, if I could do this full time, yeah, I would do it full time. But I have bills to pay. I have lawnmowers to buy. Yes, I do. But it was very, very, and I'm gonna say one more, very, very, very enjoyable. And normally you can't wait to not be on the boat. You can't wait to not do something. But it's kind of confusing what I'm trying to say. I really wasn't. You know how you get back from somewhere that you need a vacation from the vacation? Well, I don't really need a vacation. And I'm home right now because I'm leaving out in 2 days to go to my best friend's wedding that I'm in. And I'm not frustrated. I've been doing a few things, and a few things around the yard and stuff like that. But I'm good because I know that we're me and the wife, and I'm going with Charles and his wife. He's rented a house in dang it. You're getting old when you can't remember the places. Costa Rica. And we're going back to the same area, which I know I just had a ball. We're doing that in July. So once again, March, April, May, June, July, 5 or 6 months. We're out of the U.S. again. And we're going to the same area. So I already know what I'm going to be doing, including walking on the beach, keeping an eye on my drone, because the way my drone works is when the battery gets low, what it does is it will return back to the exact spot where it took off. I didn't know that. And I'm walking down the beach and watching it, because I just didn't want to break it or whatever. And it was hovering over my head about 10 feet in front of me. But then when the battery died, when the battery was low, it doesn't tell you, but the drone shot straight up in the air another 20 or 30 feet and took off. And I thought someone hijacked my drone, So my big fat behind is running down I'm running down the beach. Stop. Charles in the water. His wife is sitting on, she's sitting on a thing. And I just realized I got my shirt on backwards. My wife, I forgot what she was. No, she was walking on the beach somewhere, and I'm running because I'm thinking, this was a birthday present. If I lose this drone, my wife would kill me. So I'm running, I'm hauling ass, and the drone where it took off was where Charles' wife was sitting. It just stopped and landed right there, and I ran past her and I said, "Did you see the drone? Did you see the drone?" She said, "Yeah, it's right there." And they all started laughing, and I did, I was like, "What the heck?" Oh my, I'm freaking out, but that was one of the funny, situations down there in Costa Rica. Um, the other thing, I said it in a short while back. The food, the taste in the food is unbelievably, um, just the regular food. They have a Walmart in Costa Rica. It's a freaking Walmart. Um, it just shows that how much we are as Americans, all this processed food and all these meats and with the growth hormones, and you wonder why everybody's so big. Well, yeah, that's my excuse. The chicken's got growth hormones in it, but it it was nice. It's kind of different though, because you see a lot of barbed wire, a lot of fences, and a lot of barbed wire. But you see this barbed wire freaking everywhere. But I guess that's to keep people from breaking in and taking stuff. The home we stayed in, it literally had, we were literally surrounded by barbed wire. But um yeah, it's really nice, and a lot of people are actually going. People are buying, they're building and buying homes in Costa Rica. We met, because we went four-wheeling. We met this filthy, you wouldn't know it, but they were filthy freaking rich. Um, the poor guy, the poor guy, he almost ran into another group of people. The guy, I think it was like in his 70s or 80s or something like that, driving a four-wheeler. The daughter, um, the daughter was a speed demon, and we found out that she had the Porsche, and she was 16. The mom, you could, of course, she was younger than the father. But they would, said I remember she said, well, I just we just sold I just sold my property in San Diego. So, that was a couple of $1 million. The city of San Diego. No, not San Diego. What's that California uh, city? San Francisco. There you go. And they were having a ball. And he actually is one of my YouTube friends, because I did I filmed the whole four-wheeling, and I had my GoPro on my head, but I had it pointed up, so most of the video you see nothing but bushes and trees, and the only time you see the road and what we were doing is when I was sticking my head down trying to look at the ground, because there was some craters. There was some craters in Costa Rica. The only funny thing about being in Costa Rica is if you drive, you got to keep your eye on the ground and the road. There'd be some, no, they're not potholes, they're freaking craters. And the people were really nice. It was very enjoyable. Where we stayed, there was a nice cove where the water comes in, and a few of the videos I busted. One video while I was videotaping it, I bit the dirt, bit the dust, and it was funny because when I fall, it's real slow. It's like, no. It's freaking hilarious, but it, it is what it is. But um, it was memorable. It was very, very memorable. Very. It was a memory that I'll never forget. Um, Waking up in the morning, making breakfast, um, going out and eating on the back deck, and just surrounded by beautiful tropical plants. And you're like, wow, is this something that I've been missing all my life? You know, um, and that's why a lot of people that you see go cruising is for the enjoyment of the fantasy that that you're the king of the world, because these people, the Philippines, Filipinos and everybody else, they're so freaking nice, and they smile, and they're doing this. That's why it was very enjoyable. On the boats, you give a gratuity, right? You're paying. So in other words, these billion-dollar companies, you're paying to offset some of the pay that the people that work in the restaurants, and the people that do um, clean your rooms and stuff like that. Well, I try to give extra, because when I realize how long and hard these people work, you know, they work from sun up to sundown. Know, only get certain minutes to relax, and then got to get back to work. They don't, half the time they don't get to see sunlight and stuff like that. So I usually give them 75 to 100, but we was kind of tapped out, and so we gave the guy a room steward $50, because he went above and beyond. Even decorated my wife our room on her birthday. That's awesome, awesome service. And that's why a lot of people, they go back to the cruising, because they're treated a whole lot different than back here in real life. You know, I thought it would be hard to not cruise but still go to another country, and it really wasn't. It was very eye opening. You know, in the whole place. I only seen one. I think it was an F-350 truck. Other than that, it was like all of these small Isuzus and all these small, really, really, really small cars. And we had a God, we had a small car, and we were packed up. Oh, back to the food though. Do you know they don't refrigerate their eggs? So what is the difference between the eggs here in the States and the eggs down in Costa Rica? It's the eggs sit on a regular shelf, a regular schmegular shelf at Walmart. So, and Walmart, if Walmart says that's okay, some, what are we doing to our poultry in the United States that it has to be refrigerated? Think about it. It's, it was very eye opening to me, and didn't get sick, and we scrambled the eggs and had a good old time. They probably, because of the egg situation in the U.S., that do you see what I'm saying? But you don't learn that. You don't learn that you don't have to refrigerate eggs if you don't watch all the nobody tells us so. And then our eggs, a lot of times you make sure it's nice and done, because you could get salmonella or this or that or whatever. it's really weird. You know what I'm saying. Your eyes are open when you're in a different country and you're not copying the attitude. You're just looking around and seeing the difference. You know what I mean? Uh, I'm gonna mention it to the missus because we right before COVID we were supposed to go to Jamaica, and all I've ever wanted is like I effed up some chicken the other day, and but I had fun doing it. I did uh I did a whole chicken, cut it in half, and marinated it in jerk sauce. The jerk marinade, but I used wood in my the grill, but I used too much wood, too much hickory, you know, and but I was having fun. Um, I want real jerk chicken. I don't want jerk chicken at a resort. I want to go to a broken down shack, and where they have like those, I don't know if they're bamboo or whatever, but they put the chicken on top of that so it doesn't burn on the grill. And I want real Jamaican food. I've never really had real Jamaican food. I want to try it. I want to taste it. I want to, sit down at a cafe or whatever, or a shack, a roadside shack, and I want to eat that. I've always wanted to do that. And I was so heartbroken that we had to cancel because of COVID. And I'm gonna see if she wants to go back. You know, he killed. Just go over. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You can also what water glass ace? Oh, okay. The most is the person. Oh, okay. Well, I'm learning some stuff right now. But you you got these folks that think because you're from the United States that the world supposed to revolve around you, but it really doesn't. And what was the fun part was we actually was we got on the road, got lost. Um, we even went on this mountain road in these little little cars, this little car, and just was we were just getting lost. You know, Charles acting like he knew where he was going, but he didn't. We were getting lost, and hopefully we missed. There was we wanted to go see this volcano, and we missed it because we didn't get there in time. You got to be there early mornings. We made it all the way up there, but we missed it. But the funny part was there was a spot on the road where you could park, and then there was like this running, river, cold, and you know, they jumped out. And what happened was there's like this little bridge that if a truck came by, there's only one truck and one car getting through, one way going one way. There's only one vehicle getting through there. And I remember we got off of we were at the bottom. I don't know why I got an itch on my nose. Oh, sorry. We got all, we parked the car and went down to the river and looked around and taking pictures. And, Charles jumped in the water and he was having a ball. And then I came back up to the top and I was just taking pictures from there, down at the water. And I remember I heard a truck coming. And oh, okay. Well, that's something. Something you learn. And I heard a truck coming, Now, if I had a few more seconds to react, I was almost towards the the end of one side of the bridge, but I heard a truck coming, and I knew on the other side of the bridge there's a turn and an uphill, he had to go uphill. So I knew, being a truck driver, and if this guy knew the area, he wasn't slowing down. So I heard the honk and I instinctively took off running. Oh, let me stop. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, guys. There's something in my nose. I instinctively took off running, right, to get to the other side and get out of this truck's way. And my wife was in front of me, and I told her to run. So we're hauling behind across this bridge, and I'm pushing her like, run. And of course, when it was the guy in the truck, in the dump truck, he's blowing his horn, and of course he didn't slow down, and he was heading up the hill, and we was sitting there cracking up, and everybody's saying, "Well, you could have went back the other way." Yeah, I could have, but it didn't dawn on me, and I just didn't want to get have to jump off this bridge into the water, so I didn't get ran over by this truck. But again, it was very it was just silly stuff like that that made my vacation. That's why I say I'm thankful for my situation. I'm thankful for um, what life has finally brought me. It's gonna be weird getting back on the road and back to work, but I got to. Um, I got at least 4 of my credit cards was sent to me, uh, FedEx and UPS. So those guys are back, So I just got to be a little bit more vigilant. I've never, had to do anything on a laptop, and you just got to know that there's scams on this laptop when you go to pages and stuff like that. I just thought it was on my phone, and that was only it, But again, clueless Dan, I know now, but it's okay. I'm glad that nothing happened and that nothing got stolen or whatever. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I think, like I said it a few days ago, I got to cut the back lawn, and then I'm gonna repot some of my little babies that I had in the truck. So when I take them back to the truck, they'll be in bigger pots because I do have a lot of pots. So I think I'm going to go get me at least one bag of potting soil. Oh, look who just woke up. God. Hey, Charles, I was telling the story about me running across that bridge when that truck was running, that truck was coming. But is back to the story. Rest of us put stuff back in. Oh, you're about to leave today. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Charles, him and his wife got in an accident. Um, either the guy was drunk or high or something, ran into and tore up the side of their 18-wheeler. So they had been in um, a loaner truck trying to make ends meet and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because he's not a company driver like me. He actually is the owner operator. So the truck he has, he owns. You know. Oh, putting stuff back in my truck. You're in Missouri? Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and read that. Read what you guys are talking about. Good morning. Good morning. So you up about ready to go out and start getting some cutting done. I was just saying that I gotta cut my back. I gotta cut my back lawn. Um, I finally I have a John Deere 220 E-Cut hybrid. It's a real mower for golf courses and stuff like that. I finally figured out how to raise it to the highest level because that thing cuts so low, man. Oh, okay. I thought you was going to the yard to get your truck, or did you get your truck already? But what I was saying is, I did a practice. I did a practice cut, and it was still kind of low for my standards, which I don't have any standards. But and then it looked a lot better than the other one that I had. That sucker was just skimming the dirt. But it's fun to have these things and learn about them. And then I just found I printed out uh the manual for it. The thing's like a daggone notebook, you know. Um oh, okay. So no wonder. Okay, so we ain't gonna see Charles at 5 o'clock every day for a while until he gets back into the driving mode. Because normally, if he ain't on here, he's asleep. So my producer done got back to work. Yeah, I'm kind of missing the road myself, so that's telling me that I'm not ready to be a local driver yet. But yeah, I'm kind of missing it myself. I'm about, I got a few more days. Today again, I'm gonna, cut the backyard. I'm gonna repot some of the plants, and then I gotta go get me a white, a new white shirt, and to make sure I got my black tie for the wedding, and make sure everything's cleaned up and whatever. That's gonna be my only carry-on bag, so I'm probably got to pay for that. But when I go to New York, I'm going to do some Long Island stuff that I grew up. I'm going to the Dave's China Garden, the Mei Ling's, Chinese food. Chinese food in New York is freaking awesome. My wife didn't like it, don't care. She didn't know what she's missing. I'm going to have at least one slice of pizza, because pizza is delicious in the North. It ain't down here. I'm gonna get me some sage sausage, not the sage sausage you guys think. They come in big links, and they're about that wide, in the big sausage links, and it's breakfast sausage, but it's greasy. It ain't healthy for you, but it's freaking delicious. I'm gonna get me a few packs of that and bring it back to Atlanta and covet that stuff for the deliciousness that it will be. We're actually before we head out, we're going to go to, I'm going to take her to Coney Island. So, because she loves Nathan's fries. So you might as well go to the original place where it was made and have you some real French fries, so we're going to go to Coney Island walk the boardwalk and do that walking stuff that she likes to do. Um, oh, okay. You got one customer wants it on the lowest settings possible. Then you want the lowest settings possible. Get you a real mower. You bring it down to the dirt. God, I didn't know how low these things went. And I bought mine at auction, and man, this thing cut low. But with Bermuda lawn, you're supposed to scalp it down to the almost dang near to the dirt. And I did, and it's just starting to come back. And I was surprised. So, because a lot of this channel is really about lawnmower destruction, lawn destruction. A lot of it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I destroyed my lawn so many freaking times. Like right now, I got a good part of it is my Bermuda sod that I put down last year. And every time I would get some extra money, I was going to try to put more sod down and almost have a complete lawn. But this bill had to get paid, that bill had to get paid, and those are the things that I'm keeping an eye on nowadays. I remember in the past I would say, well, I'll just do it later. No, I want to make sure that my bills get paid, and it makes me feel good that that I'm doing this and keeping an eye on it. I got frustrated yesterday because again I had all my cards turned off and whatever, and I had to get some money out of the bank. I didn't have my card, so I was like going to get a temporary one, and I went to the bank, and dude didn't even acknowledge my presence. And that's one thing I freaking can't stand is you just acknowledge that you see me here, and they didn't do that. So I got mad and I left, and I went to another bank, same company, another bank. As soon as I walked in, oh, good morning. How can I help you? You need some blah blah blah, and I told him, I said thank you, because I just left another bank that they didn't even acknowledge I was sitting there waiting to see somebody. You know what I'm saying? So just give us a moment. No, you didn't even do that. Yeah, bro. These golf course lawns, you got to. Wow. Well, brother, if you looking for something that'll scalp it, and you in the Georgia area, I'll sell you one of mine. I got two real mowers now. I just keep on buying stuff that I don't freaking need. you know, but my old neighbor was way worse. He had a golf course lawn, mowed it every day. Yeah, when you got the lawn that low, you have to, with the real mowers, you gotta mow it to keep it like that. Once you just can't mow it once a week. You gotta mow it 2 or 3 times, at least 2 or 3 times a week. You know what I mean? That's just part of real mowing. The mowers I got, the speed that they cut at, I could do that. I could do it 2 or 3 times a week. It would take me 5 minutes to mow this freaking lawn. But I went I went literally 2 years messing with this mower and just holding down this lever while it didn't dawn on me for 2 years to let the lever go and then hold the handle. You could see on my earlier videos when I was testing that mower out, I just would put the handle down and hold on to it. And then something dawned on me, said, "Hey, stupid." I just see what you just wrote 2 or 3 times. Do 2 or 3 times. Hell to the no. Yeah, yep. But that's why I got to drive. I have a driving lawnmower, and I have my John Deere. It has a piece that's actually connected to it that you unhook and put on the ground, and you can actually stand on it and drive that one too. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna post it again on my page what my lawn used to look like when I first moved in, and let's see if I can draw it. I had a crater about that. I mean, it was, if you could drive a truck into it, and it's literally, if you see the middle of my picture, like right there, where the ground is behind the picture right there, right there. The way, again, my lawn was not graded properly, and at the top, see, I'm on a slant at the road. It actually goes downhill. The main road that I'm off of, and there's a concrete, like, I don't know, what do you want to call it, not a level, but a path at the top of my driveway. But what they did when they laid the road, they laid the asphalt over that concrete path right to my you know driveway. So when it rains, the flood of water comes down, and since they covered up that concrete path, it makes a beeline right through my lawn and right down my driveway and floods me out. I started noticing that, and then I went and bought me a sledgehammer, and I broke all of that up and have like a passageway, so when it rains, that water keeps on going downhill. And I noticed that water would make a beeline right through my lawn, and it just, nobody cared before I moved in there, and it eroded um my front lawn, and it just made a deep hole. I mean, a really big one, about as um wide as a pickup truck. And I remember this is the first time I started to do it yourself. I had some. Turns out now I know what it is. It's like they take the gravel and rocks and whatever, and they grind it down and make it look like it's sand or something. And I got a load of that. It was supposed to be. I paid for fill dirt, and this guy was calling it fill dirt. And I put that down in the hole. It took us a freaking month. All right, be careful on the road, Bomber. Um, it it was filled. It wasn't filled dirt, but it was sand. And for a while, nothing would grow there. And then I realized, well, because it's a big mound of sand under there. So I just started putting more topsoil, more compost, and just started feeding that area, and building it up and building it up and building it up, so it didn't just rely on this sand under there or gravel or whatever you want to call it. And this is how you learn. And I started buying certain things and laying it in that area so it would break down, and it would break down and take care of my lawn. There was one YouTuber, he what he did is he took chicken feed, and he spread chicken feed, a certain type of chicken feed. I remember it only cost, like, at the time it was like $16. He started spreading that out on the lawn so that it could break down and feed the lawn. And I learned these things to keep going. There's a certain, I said it before, but I can't remember the name of it. It comes in hay or tablets, not tablets, but it's horse feed. It's horse feed, and it has specific things that feed your lawn and your garden. And bacteria, there's actually good bacteria in that stuff. And once you start putting it down, it might look weird, but you're actually feeding your lawn. And they had like these good bacterias and stuff like that. And then I got like some seaweed stuff. Come think of it, I'm gonna make me a concoction and throw it on the lawn today. They also, it's actually in, my sister told me this, and I didn't even believe it. And then I found it like Dove, like the lemon flavored Dove, the soap, that helps to, when you you mix that with water and you spray it on your lawn, it helps to get the nutrients to go down deeper. It's called a surfactant. It's another word. Another word for it is surfactant, and it causes the whatever that you're trying to inject into the lawn to go deeper. And one other thing I'm gonna do this summer, I forgot what it's called, but it helps to make your roots go deeper, to dig deeper for water, and when it finds that water, it actually holds on to it. But I got to work on the names so I can get you to do it. But welcome in, Wanda. We've come to the point in our morning video where I'm going to shut things down, because I realized that I'm just mumbling at this point. I mean, I was mumbling all morning, but I'm even mumbling worse. Yeah. I'm gonna start extending so Dre Lachey can actually, you can hear some of this mess we talking about. I just happened to look. I'm gonna be so frustrated, next week, because I won't be able to. We'll be back to the driving in the back, in instead of seeing my big old head. We're gonna be driving in the background, and I can't look at the comments, because it's freaking, the comments are more funny, and there's good conversation. But guys, I just want to thank y'all for coming in and showing up and showing out. You know what I mean? You guys have been a blessing. I'm just trying to, again, getting used to getting up and getting out here, and again, I'm not on vacation anymore. I just got to get ready. I got to get my clothes ready. I think that's probably what I'll do today. get my clothes ready, so when I come back home, I don't have to go all crazy looking for stuff. And you know what I mean. Good morning. Good morning. Um, Unfortunately, it is what it is. But again, for you guys that are waking up, I just want to say good morning. For you guys that are going to bed like Mike, good night. And always know, if you don't think nobody loves you, God loves you, and I love you too. Peace out.